Welcome to Destination Deanna. I'm Deanna, love guide to all and kept wife strategist to the women I'm called to serve. Please consider my channel your self-help learning library for love. Join me every Monday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time for our weekly coaching gem, where I give guidance to elevate your love experience. And on Wednesdays at 1 p.m., tune in for Sounds About Wife. Welcome to Destination Deanna. I'm Deanna, love guide to all and kept wife strategist to the women I'm called to serve. Please consider my channel your self-help learning library for love. Okay, not sure what was happening with the technical difficulties there. Um, so sorry about that. Okay, had an extra window open. That's where the echo was coming from. I apologize. Um, let me just tell you. I always know when a message is really important because that's when I have distractions. That's when I have technical difficulties. That's when I have all of the things happening. So here we go. If you are new here, welcome to Sounds About Wife. This is my weekly show that is geared specifically towards my Kepties, right? My Kepties are aspiring wives or already wives who are kept or desire to be kept. So the messaging that comes on Sounds About Wife is really me sharing the unique kept wife perspective and preparing women to thrive as a Keptie. Okay, I am Deanna. I am love guide to all, but kept wife strategist to the women that I am called to serve. And today's message, let me just tell you, I have been ruminating on this message probably for a year. But I can't hold it in any longer, especially with my specific client being professional women, being women that are very successful in career, successful business owners. I have to equip you properly. So we're going to talk about from boss to babe. And what is that? That is mastering work-life harmony as a kept wife. Okay. So let me say hello. Okay, I see Carly is already here. Hope to hang in there. Oh, and honey, I'm so glad. That's my amazing husband. He's actually able to tune in. I know you're busy at work, so thank you so much, baby, for being here. So going from boss to babe, baby, honey, my love, my Kepti, right? We're going to learn how to master work-life harmony, right? As a kept wife. So I always like to start off with my treasure. So my treasure is basically like my personal share that's related to the topic. It lets you know that I understand this topic firsthand. I am not talking at you. I'm talking with you, right? We are on this journey together. So let me share something, right? When I first got married, I didn't realize I was walking through my front door with like my boss hat still on, right? At work, this is my work. But at the time, like even before I got married, when I was dating my now husband, I was still in a corporate environment. I was, a very successful account manager. And I didn't realize how it was really challenging for me to take my work hat off. Like, I spent so many hours there. I spent so much time building up my professional persona, right? Where I'm calling the shots, I'm solving the problems, I'm managing everything with precision, I'm delegating, I'm giving out all of the instructions, right? But at home, that type of energy doesn't create peace and love. It does not create the harmony that you desire to have with your keeper husband, right? It actually ends up creating tension. My husband doesn't need a manager, right? He needs a wife, he needs a partner. And, I had to learn how to leave work at the office. And even more so now that I work for myself, I run my own business. It's definitely important for me to develop a mindset where when I'm at home, I am in my feminine, I am a wife, I am a mother. I'm not a coach, I'm not a mentor, right? So when I actually embraced my role as a nurturer, a supporter, and realized that it wasn't about me losing control or it wasn't about me not managing well, it really was about gaining more of a connection with my husband. That shift changed everything for me, and it can for you. That's why I developed this lesson today, right? And I'm sharing it. So let me see. I heard that before and was discussing that recently with a friend. Yeah, it was time for this lesson because I'm seeing more conversations, and in getting to know the women that follow me more, I'm realizing there's lots of similarities about, how to wear the separate hats, how to excel in your career and then also excel at home, or for my aspiring Kepties, to excel in dating and being able to vet properly, right? You need to be able to balance the two. So that's what today's treasure is all about, right? That's our core lesson and why it matters. So let's get to it. If you're going to take notes, now would be the time for you to take the notes, right? The first point that I want to make right now is you have to understand the role shifts. Okay. So many of you are experts at, being a boss, being a leader, being a decision maker. But at home, your role is different. You're not managing at home, you're building connection. Okay. So the shift is more from control to collaboration, right? So that allows your home to be more of a place of love and harmony, right? But this doesn't diminish your strength. I want to be clear about that. It simply redirects it towards your relationship. And let me give you like a scripture to back this up. In Ecclesiastes 3:1, there's a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. So that lets you know, right? There is a certain time where you need to be assertive, where you need to manage things, where you need to be in control, right? That is when you are operating in your business and you're the boss. But at home, it's the time for you to be more in a supportive role, more of a loving role, more of a feminine role, right? And what's my statistic here? So 60% of professionals report that work-life balance issues create tension at home. And this is from Forbes, an article that they did in 2023. So what does that mean? That means if you don't know how to turn off work, it definitely creates tension at home, right? When you are at home, your family, your keeper husband, your children, they want your attention. They want to know that they are priority, and they want you in the capacity that they have you, which is a more intimate one, a softer one. They are not employees, right? They're not people that work for you. So getting them to do things, you have to be more collaborative. You have to be softer in your approach. But that leads me to the second point. The second point is recognize transferable skills. So a lot of times when this conversation is had, many women think, they have to completely leave their work skills at work. Meaning, guys don't care about my degrees and, everything that I do at work doesn't matter at home. It does. There are lots of transferable skills, right? The very skills that make you successful at work, I'll give you a few, like problem solving, planning, leadership. They are powerful when adapted for home life. That means you have to know how to adapt using those skills, but in the way that it makes sense at home. So instead of leading your keeper, use those skills to support him, right? So you can organize your home and you can foster a loving environment. The key, again, is collaboration and not control. And what is my scripture that supports this? Proverbs 31, verses 10 through 12. A wife of noble character, who can find? She is worth far more than rubies. Her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. So your husband knows that you're valuable. He knows that you're killing it at work. He knows that you're great at managing. He knows that you're great at maximizing resources and multiplying things. He knows all of these things. It's just in your approach. So keep the skill, tailor the approach, right? And number 3, you want to beware of role confusion. So bringing your professional mindset into your marriage can literally blur roles and cause unnecessary conflict. So at home, it's not about who's in charge, right? It's about working together. So again, it's more about collaboration than control. When you are trusting your keeper's leadership, that creates the balance that fosters love and respect. He's also going to respect your collaboration and invite your ideas and how things should be done. What's the scripture? Colossians 3:18. Wives, submit yourselves to your husband as is fitting to the Lord. So that's a good reminder, right? In your submission to your husband's leadership, it really is your decision to submit to God first, right? And God's overall leadership and what he says is best for the family structure. Now, what's my statistic to kind of back this up? Well, couples with defined and balanced roles experience 30% greater relationship satisfaction. 30% greater relationship satisfaction. Now, just because there are defined and balanced roles, that does not mean the roles are completely traditional and it's more like husband works, wife is barefoot pregnant and keeps the children. That does not mean that. It just means that you are clear on your roles. You are clear on your responsibilities and you choose, like, you're good at this, you lead in this area. I'm good at this. Maybe I'll take the lead in this area. But overall, the role of leader is with the husband and the role of supporter is with the wife. So number 4, and this is the final point, community and coaching are key. Transforming how you approach work and home life isn't something you need to do alone. Right? You need to be surrounding yourself with women that are on the same journey, right? That is going to provide support, encouragement, and accountability. I would not recommend if you are on your captivity journey. So whether you are already married or you are aspiring to do so, I would not advise that you are inundated with single messaging. You are inundated with the independent woman message. You are looking to attract or maintain a relationship with a keeper. So you need to be surrounding yourself with other women that also think this way and are also working towards this. Coaching is also going to help you identify blind spots. When you are in the midst of something, you are just working at it. You're diligently going towards your goals and intentions. Having a coach who can be on the outside observing you, who can more quickly and easily put together the patterns, they can make the connections, and they can help you identify the blind spots and equip you with tools to navigate your shifts successfully. So, what's my scripture for this? Well, Proverbs 27:17. As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. You are going to get better. You are going to improve. You are going to up level when you are surrounded by women doing the same thing. And statistics show individuals in coaching programs are 70% more likely to implement lasting changes. This is from the Harvard Business Review in 2021. 70% more likely to implement lasting changes. So, yes, you may have a lot of willpower. You may know what you want to do, and you may be working towards it. However, you are 70% more likely when you get into a coaching program or community that aligns with where you are going, that can support your shifts and changes, right? So I always like to give you the Kepti lens. And the Kepti lens is our mindset, the perspective shift that we are choosing as Keptis, because we are not subscribing to the commoner belief system, right? So what's our perspective shift here? A kept wife understands that her professional success and feminine energy can coexist, right? It's about recognizing when to lead and when to support. Also, our perspective is work is where you execute control, home is where you nurture connection. So in no way am I saying now in your business, you have to kind of quench that power and all of that. No, that's your business. That requires a certain part of you, and that is fine. Execute that control in your business. At home, you want to nurture connection, right? And the third part of our perspective shift, this is how Kepti see it. Seeking community and coaching isn't a weakness. Okay, it's a strategy for becoming the best version of yourself in every role that you take on. That's a huge statistic. Success with community and coaching. It really is. And it makes sense, right? Think of all the successful people that we know, follow, become aware of. They have mentorship. They have communities that they either start or they're in, right? So we know this to be true. Now now that you know the Kepti lens that we have, the perspective, let's move on to the Kepti consideration. So this is how you can reflect on the lesson, and you know that I'm an avid journaler. So I'm encouraging you to reflect on what we talked about today and journal your thoughts to these questions. Okay. And I have them broken up for my already marrieds and for those desiring marriage. Okay, so for my already marrieds, here's what I'd love for you to consider. Do I mentally transition from work mode to partner mode when I come home? Do I mentally transition from work mode to partner mode when I come home? Number 2, how can I trust and support my keeper's leadership instead of stepping into control? How can I support? Let me read that again. How can I trust and support my keeper's leadership instead of stepping into control? Number 3, am I adapting my work skills to serve my marriage in a way that builds harmony? Am I adapting my work skills to serve my marriage in a way that builds harmony? And number 4, have I invested in community or coaching to grow in this area. My already married wives, I know that you have the husband already, but that does not mean that you can't still up level. You can't still encourage and inspire your husband to be even more of a keeper, right? So, have I sought support through community or coaching to refine these skills for my marriage? I'm sorry, I've jumped ahead. Have I invested in community or coaching to grow in this area? I jumped ahead for those desiring marriage. Excuse me. So now for those desiring marriage, number one, how can I practice leaving work energy at work to prepare for partnership? So we know this, right? We dress for the job we want. Well, we prepare for the role we're ready to take on, right? So for my desiring marriage, my aspiring Kepties, how can I practice leaving work energy at work to prepare for partnership? And number two, what steps am I taking to trust and collaborate with others now to prepare for a keeper's leadership? So what steps am I taking to trust and collaborate with others now to prepare for a keeper's leadership? And number three, this is where I jumped ahead. Have I sought support through community or coaching to refine these skills for my future marriage? It's all in the preparation. Have I sought support through community or coaching to refine these skills for my future marriage? Now, what good would the lesson be if I don't give you the strategy? So here's the Kepti strategy, and this is practical tips for you to put the lesson to work in your life immediately. Do not wait. These are things that you can do now, right? So for my already marrieds, can you create a transition routine? Spend 5 to 10 minutes decompressing after work through prayer or journaling before stepping into your home. So don't just sit in your car and scroll, or don't just, leave your office and jump right in, right? Take 5 minutes, decompress, even tell yourself, okay, I'm taking my work hat off. I'm shutting down. This is not business hours. I am in my kept wife era. Okay. This is my kept wife energy now. I'm in my role as kept wife. Okay. Number two, collaborate with your keeper. Ask your husband how you can support his vision for the household, ensuring that he feels valued and trusted. This helps you step into that supportive role. Collaborate with your keeper. Ask your husband how you can support his vision for the household, ensuring that he feels valued and trusted. And number three, invest in growth. Join a supportive community or coaching program to help refine your approach to balancing work and home. Okay, invest in your growth. Join a supportive community or coaching program. Now, for those desiring marriage, right, my aspiring Kepties, practice softness now. Schedule intentional moments of rest after work so that you can connect with your feminine energy, right? So practice softness now. Schedule these intentional moments of rest after work to connect with your feminine energy. Number two, learn to collaborate. Find opportunities in friendship or family life to practice trusting others' leadership. You don't always have to be the one leading everything. And number three, experience community and coaching. Okay. I will make the invitation. You can join my Kept Wife Experience VIP Day, right? That's March 28th, 2025, to get direct exposure to the mindset shifts and strategies that will prepare you for this journey. I have 2 spaces available. I'll leave the information to get to my website, destinationdeanna.com. Or you can text me at my number. As a matter of fact, I'll put that on the screen. But even if you don't do it with me, do it with someone. Okay. So experience community and coaching. Okay. Now let me just open it up to the Kepti chat. So you've heard the lesson. You've heard what I talked about. In essence, you really want to master being able to have work-life harmony, right? You do not want to be bringing work home. You do not want to be bringing the same energy that you do when you're managing others, when you're leading meetings, when you are in charge. You don't want to bring that home, not as a kept wife, right? So you want to understand the role shifts. You want to recognize your transferable skills. You want to beware of role confusion, and you want to make sure that you're prioritizing community and coaching to support this. So I don't see any comments. Did I miss any comments? Do you all have any questions about the lesson, or would you like me to elaborate in any area or give you any examples of how to incorporate this? I'm like, why is it so quiet? I didn't play my background music today, but I was so into this message. Like, it's so important. So as I just give you a moment, I'll kind of just have my closing, my kind of closing remarks, right? And let me see. I see a comment. Never looked at it this way. Always heard in the past I was like an interviewer. Ooh. I mean, for a while, not with my husband now, because I've learned this lesson. But in the past, I heard that I was showing up like a coach, you know? So it really just speaks to the fact that we can get so engrossed in a role that we play that we don't know when to turn it off. And we don't know exactly when it makes sense to use those skills and when not. So yes, I love that you use work-life harmony and not just balance. Yeah, because I think when we use balance, sometimes it's kind of like you think, oh, 50% of this and 50% of that. Where it's like, no, we should be looking more for harmony, where it's like you can take what's working here and learn how to apply it so it also works here. But the application of it might be different. Thank you, baby. It's a great message. Thank you so much. I'm glad you all enjoyed it. So here is my closing, right? The harmony you desire at home starts with the energy that you bring into it. So by learning to actually like leave your work at work and adapting your strengths and embracing community and coaching for support, you actually set yourself up for success as a kept wife. So again, my invitation to you is, if you'd like to further this lesson, I invite you to become an official Kepti, right? If you're new here and you kind of just want to get started on your Kepti journey, I invite you to visit destinationdiana.com to purchase the Kepti Starter Kit. It is the signature Kepti tea, so you can embrace all the energy that is Kepti, but it also comes with my signature love attraction journal that every Kepti starts with. It literally walks you through, your past, kind of digging up those common limiting beliefs and those negative relationship patterns and gets to the deep roots of those. But then there's prompts that actually help you create your future self, your future relationship, and help you prepare for it. So it's the great foundation that is needed, and it's a requirement for joining my community or working with me one-on-one. So if any of this lesson resonates with you, or you have identified me as your coach or mentor, I invite you to become an official Kepti and start with the Kepti Starter Kit. I got more comments. Oh yes, okay. I've shared. Okay, good. Thank you so much, Carly. I appreciate you being here so consistently, right? So thank you all so much for your support and for being here. Please remember that kept wives are prepared women. And prepared women, they have strategy. They do not wing it. So if you want the winning strategy, you come to the Kept Wife Strategist. So I'm here every Wednesday at 1 p.m. with my episode of Sounds About Wife that is specifically from the kept wife perspective. So if you are preparing, you want to be here every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. And if you just love my lessons and want more, you can also tune in on Monday at 1 p.m. for my weekly coaching gym. All right. Love you all. Have a great day.